On a bright morning at the Vatican, the Holy See released an official bulletin that rippled through both American and global Catholic circles. Pope Leo XIV has appointed Reverend Pedro Bismarck Chau as auxiliary bishop of the Archdiocese of Newark, New Jersey. This decision not only marks a new chapter in the life of the newly named bishop but also reflects the pastoral vision and missionary vigor of Pope Leo XIV's evolving papacy. In this video, we explore who Pedro Bismarck Chau is, why Newark is such a significant post, what this appointment tells us about Pope Leo XIV's leadership style, and what it could mean for the future of the Church in the United States. Let's take a deep dive into the heart of this appointment, from the man behind the name to the spiritual strategy behind the choice. Please, like, comment, subscribe. 1. Who is Pedro Bismarck Chau? Born to immigrant parents with Vietnamese and Latin American roots, Pedro Bismarck Chau's story is one of perseverance, multicultural immersion, and deep Catholic conviction. Raised in a modest household in the bustling city of Los Angeles, Chau was introduced to faith through his grandparents' devotion to the Rosary and weekday Massachusetts. From a young age, he displayed a sense of reverence that set him apart. He pursued his undergraduate studies in philosophy at Loyola Marymount University before entering the seminary. Chau completed his theological formation at the Pontifical North American College in Rome, and later earned a licentiate in canon law from the Pontifical Gregorian University. Ordained a priest in the early 2000s, Father Chau served in diverse parishes across California and New Jersey. He's known for preaching with bold clarity, offering bilingual homilies in English and Spanish, and building bridges between immigrant communities and the broader American Church. He also gained a reputation in Catholic academic circles, having published articles on church law, pastoral care, and ecumenism in multicultural contexts. At the time of his appointment, he served as vicar for clergy in the Archdiocese of Newark, where he was deeply respected for mentoring young priests and revitalizing seminary formation programs. 2. The significance of Newark, New Jersey. Why Newark? On the surface, Newark is one of the major urban dioceses in the northeastern United States. But underneath, it is also a deeply complex and vibrant Catholic territory. The Archdiocese of Newark, led by Cardinal Joseph William Tobin, spans multiple counties and serves over 1.5 million Catholics. The region is racially diverse, economically varied, and full of pastoral challenges, immigrant integration, declining mass attendance among younger generations, and tension between traditionalist and progressive liturgical styles. Newark is also a hub for Catholic higher education, with institutions like Seton Hall University playing a central role in clerical and lay formation. The appointment of an auxiliary bishop here is not ceremonial, it's strategic. Pedro Bismarck Chau's cross-cultural fluency, legal expertise, and pastoral grounding make him an ideal fit. He is expected to assist with episcopal visitations, oversee immigrant pastoral programs, and help implement synodal reforms inspired by Pope Francis and now deepened under Pope Leo XIV. 3. What this says about Pope Leo XIV's vision. This appointment reflects Pope Leo XIV's broader vision of a rejuvenated, global, and responsive Church. Since his election, Pope Leo XIV has made headlines for appointing shepherds who are close to the people, not career administrators but missionary-minded pastors. Pedro Bismarck Chau's name may not be flashy in global media, but that's exactly the point. Pope Leo XIV has shown a preference for appointing bishops with a track record of faithful service, pastoral sensitivity, and cultural competency over political acumen or institutional status. This decision also aligns with the Pope's emphasis on subsidiarity and proximity. He believes bishops should know the streets of their cities, speak the languages of the faithful, and be present among the poor, the elderly, and the marginalized. In many ways, Pedro Bismarck Chau is the embodiment of Pope Leo XIV's dream of the pastoral bishop, a figure not remote, but rooted, not distant, but deeply among the people. 4. The global and local reactions. The reaction from clergy, laity, and theologians was overwhelmingly positive. Parishioners who had worked with Father Chau described him as humble, always listening, but never afraid to speak the truth. Seminarians recalled how he'd often sit in the back pews during Holy Hour just to pray silently with them. In Rome, insiders noted that Chau's name had been circulating quietly for some time as someone, on the radar, of Pope Leo XIV. But the final decision still came as a surprise to many, underscoring how carefully and prayerfully the Pope and the Congregation for Bishops had considered the needs of Newark. Cardinal Tobin welcomed the appointment warmly, calling it a divine grace and a clear sign of Pope Leo XIV's personal concern for the people of Newark. 5. Challenges and opportunities ahead. As auxiliary bishop, Pedro Bismarck Chau will face significant responsibilities. He will need to engage more deeply with immigrant communities, especially Vietnamese, Filipino, and Hispanic groups. Strengthen the priestly formation pipeline in an age of vocational decline. Contribute to Newark's response to the Global Synod on Synodality. Address rising secularism among Catholic youth and young adults. But he will also have unique opportunities to be a healing voice across ethnic and theological divisions. To support Cardinal Tobin in ecclesial reforms in the Archdiocese. And to be a bridge between Rome and local faithful, especially as Pope Leo XIV advances his global Catholic renewal movement. 6. The Church in Motion. This appointment is more than just a new bishop in a major U.S. city. It's a symbol of a church in motion, guided by the Holy Spirit and shepherded by a pope who dares to dream of renewal. It speaks to the rise of a new generation of bishops, faithful to doctrine, close to the people, and ready for the challenges of the modern world. Pedro Bismarck Chau now carries the weight of apostolic succession in a city full of complexity and promise. With prayers from Rome, the joy of Newark, and the hopes of millions behind him, his episcopal journey begins, not on a pedestal, but in the streets, among the people, where Christ still walks. May his ministry be blessed, and may it bear fruit in ways we are only just beginning to imagine. 7. A post-Vatican II bishop for a post-pandemic world. Pedro Bismarck Chau's appointment also arrives at a pivotal moment in church history. The global church is emerging from the long shadow of the COVID-19 pandemic, which not only altered parish life but also raised fundamental questions about how the church evangelizes, educates, and engages. In Newark, as in other dioceses, parish attendance dipped, virtual masses became normative, and many young Catholics struggled to reconnect. Bishop-elect Chau is stepping into this world, not as a stranger, but as a spiritual physician trained to listen, rebuild, and restore. He is described by close friends as a post-Vatican II bishop with the heart of an old-world mystic. He combines a deep appreciation for tradition, adoration, the sacrament of confession, the divine office, with a fluency in digital tools, modern social issues, and generational change. This blend is critical for the Church today. Newark's faithful need someone who can walk with both the tech-savvy Gen Z Catholic and the devout 80-year-old parishioner who never misses morning Mass. Chau is expected to act as a living bridge between generations, cultures, and liturgical expressions. 8. What the young Church can expect. One of the areas where Pedro Bismarck Chau is expected to make a significant impact is youth and young adult ministry. He has long been an advocate of placing young Catholics not on the sidelines but at the very heart of the Church's mission. During his time as vicar for clergy, he supported several youth initiatives, including bilingual retreats, vocation camps, and the popular Ask a Priest Anything nights on college campuses. He is known to carry around a rosary, but also a smartphone loaded with the latest Catholic apps and digital tools for evangelization. This dynamic, missionary energy will be crucial in Newark, where diocesan youth ministries are seeking renewal. In his first press statement following the announcement, Chau mentioned his commitment to raising up a new generation of Catholic leaders who are not afraid to love Christ publicly and serve radically. Expect to see more youth forums, synodal listening sessions for Gen Z, and collaboration with Catholic student groups across the region. 9. Liturgy, language, and the spirit of unity. Another area where Bishop-elect Chau will likely bring transformation is in the realm of liturgy. Newark is one of the most linguistically and ritually diverse dioceses in the country. Mass is celebrated in English, Spanish, Portuguese, Tagalog, Polish, Korean, Vietnamese, and even Latin. This multilingual, multicultural mosaic can either fragment a diocese or forge a symphony of sacred unity. Chau is expected to take the latter route. He has previously emphasized that the Church does not have one voice, but many tongues proclaiming the one gospel. He is fluent in English, Spanish, and conversational Vietnamese, and has celebrated the extraordinary form of the Mass when requested, without creating division. This pastoral flexibility reflects Pope Leo XIV's global ecclesiology, a church that celebrates diversity while remaining rooted in Catholic identity. Chau is expected to act as a unifying figure, especially amid debate surrounding tradition and modernity in liturgical life. 10. Church governance and the road ahead. Pedro Bismarck Chau is not just a man of the people, he's also a canon lawyer with a profound understanding of church governance. With Pope Leo XIV emphasizing synodality, accountability, and transparency in church structures, Chau's experience in ecclesial law will be indispensable. He has been quietly involved in diocesan reforms, advocating for clearer parish governance, better protection of vulnerable populations, and more equitable distribution of resources between urban and suburban parishes. As auxiliary bishop, he is likely to support structural renewal of diocesan offices, assist with bishops' councils and advisory boards, help lead Newark's implementation of Vatican guidelines for financial and administrative transparency. This administrative experience makes Chau more than just a ceremonial figure. He will be a working bishop, a policy shaper, and a behind-the-scenes strategist helping Cardinal Tobin navigate the complexities of a large, urban archdiocese. 11. A church with a global heart. Beyond Newark, Pedro Bismarck Chau's appointment is part of a larger pattern of globalization in church leadership. Pope Leo XIV's episcopal appointments reflect a shift away from Eurocentric or prestige-based models toward pastors who reflect the global church's demographic reality. Today, the Catholic Church is more African, Asian, and Latin American than ever before. In Chau, we see a reflection of that change, a bishop whose very name echoes multiple continents and whose ministry has always been shaped by the tensions and hopes of global Catholicism. This is not just symbolic, it's strategic. Newark, like many U.S. dioceses, is increasingly composed of immigrant Catholics. By appointing someone who intimately understands these communities, Pope Leo XIV is not only acknowledging them but empowering them. Chau is expected to maintain strong ties with global Catholic leaders, particularly those in Vietnam, Latin America, and the U.S. immigrant clergy community. He may even become a Vatican liaison in the future, serving as a conduit between Newark and Rome on issues of evangelization and religious freedom. 12. What this appointment means for the American Church. For the Church in the United States, the appointment of Pedro Bismarck Chau signals a deeper embrace of multicultural leadership, missionary zeal, and post-pandemic renewal. We are entering a new phase in American Catholicism. One where pastoral presence matters more than clerical prestige. Where bishops are expected to be evangelists, not just administrators. Where communities long on the margins are brought to the center. Pope Leo XIV is crafting an episcopacy for a new era, one that doesn't simply manage decline but dares to dream revival. Pedro Bismarck Chau's story isn't just his. It's the story of every faithful Catholic who has ever wondered, does the Church see me? Do I belong here? His appointment is a resounding yes. Conclusion. A moment for prayer, hope, and gratitude. As the Archdiocese of Newark prepares to welcome its new auxiliary bishop, Catholics across New Jersey and beyond are invited into a moment of deep prayer and joyful expectation. Let us pray for Bishop-elect Pedro Bismarck Chau. That his ministry may be spirit-filled and fruitful. That his leadership may be courageous and wise. And that his heart remains close to Christ in every challenge and success. In Pope Leo XIV's own words during his homily at last year's Chrism Mass. The world needs bishops who smell like their people, speak their languages, and bring the Eucharist to every shadowed corner. May every bishop be Christ with a broken heart, for the sake of the world. Today, that call echoes in Newark. And in Pedro Bismarck Chau, the call has been answered. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the life of the Catholic Church, the global papacy, and the future of our faith. Until next time, may the peace of Christ be with you always.